With Power Legacy, the Power universe is expanding once again, and this time the action will truly reach its peak. In this new spin off, where the action hits its highest point, we will see a completely new and way more exciting city. A Tariq who has now fully become Ghost, and most incredibly, we will witness a legendary character we all missed bringing back the original Power vibe entirely. I know you're dying of curiosity right now, so without wasting any time, let me tell you what we might see in Power Legacy. First, let's look at how this massive spin off will connect with the current story. As you know, the third season of Power Book 4 Force will be the final season. Looking at the story, we have to say that in this season, all the balances in Chicago will be completely turned upside down. Tommy will first clash with Miguel to save Mireya, and this will show us right from the start of the season that very big battles are waiting. And if we know Tommy Egan, we also know that Miguel alone won't be enough to take him down. That's why in Season 3, we will see Claudia Flynn and Mirkovich, whom Tommy had imprisoned in the Season 2 finale, being released and continuing to cause trouble for him. And we also can't forget King Kilo, who will go after DMAC and CBI to avenge his nephew. Tommy's list of enemies doesn't end there, because Jannard and Shanti will also try to carry out the betrayal they've been planning from the start. We will see this treacherous duo stand against Tommy at his weakest moment. And let's not forget Vic, who will cooperate with the FBI to get Tommy arrested and gain his own freedom. Okay, I think this is enough for now, so now let's move on to the connection that will take us directly to Power Legacy. And as you might expect, this connection will come from the conversation in Original Power, which is something I mentioned in my previous videos, but I'll go over it again for anyone who is new to the Power universe. There, we saw Tariq and Tommy assuring each other that they could help one another in their hardest times. Remember, we saw Tariq receiving this call in the final scene of Power Book 2 Ghost, but we didn't know who was calling. Considering the troubles Tommy is facing in Force's final season, we can be sure that the call came from Tommy. Because in the conversation, Tariq said, "We're family for life." And I don't think he would say this to anyone other than his Uncle Tommy. Now let's talk about how Tariq will enter Chicago. Honestly, I don't think we will see Tariq from the start of the season because to defeat Miguel, the help of DMAC and Diamond will be enough for Tommy, but if we consider that in the big battle at the season finale, all of Tommy's enemies will stand together against him, then Tommy will need a real ghost. That's why I think in Force's finale, Tariq might eliminate Mirkovich and Miguel, Tommy's most ruthless enemies, effortlessly. So, what will be the next move of this duo? Who will defeat all their enemies in Chicago? This is where we can talk about what will happen in the first episode of Power Legacy. Since we know that the duo will start these new adventures in a completely new city, we can see that they will probably leave all their Chicago operations to Diamond, who won't join them. Then, realizing how powerful they've become, I think they will want to choose a place where they can show their new criminal empire to the world. At this point, I should tell you that 50 Cent said London is a perfect place to make Power a global brand, so most likely it will be London. And the big question is, who will Tariq and Tommy bring with them as they set foot in the new city in the very first episode? Let's start with Tariq's team. We know that at the end of Power Book 2, Tariq set up the new powerful criminal crew with Brayden and Effie. So it's certain that these two will be part of the team arriving in London. But there is one thing. Alex Lapri, who plays Effie, was charged with 1 count of third-degree cruelty to children and 1 count of disorderly conduct. Even though she was only in custody for 1 day, it's unclear if Starz will want to include her in this new spin-off. That's why we might see a different right-hand person for Tariq. And I have to say, the best person to fill this spot is 2-Bit. You know, we haven't seen him for a long time, and he's really trustworthy for Tariq. So in episode 1, we can see that 2-Bit has already moved to London and is the one who called Tommy and Tariq there. Did you miss him too? Wouldn't you want him to be the person guiding Tommy and Tariq in their new city adventures? Share your thoughts in the comments. For Tommy's team, I think the first person to join will be DMAC, who by the final season of Force will become a complete war machine and much more mature. Considering both his strong bond with Tommy and the fun friendship he might build with Tariq's young team, T-Mac will really fit in with the group. Plus, from the very first episode, I can't wait to see the illegal work they can do in the streets of London and the observations they will make with Brayden. And who knows, D-Mac might also bring his friend Marshall, making it a fully young and dynamic team taking over the streets of London. The other person who might come with Tommy is Mireia. Although their Barcelona vacation will be cancelled by Miguel, we can already see that they will have relatively peaceful moments in London from the start of the show. Okay, our team lands in London, explores the streets, finds what illegal work they can do, and now it's time for the obstacles, meaning the enemies. Now, I should reveal the plot twist you've been patiently waiting for. At the end of the first episode of Power Legacy, imagine D-Mac and Brayden, who have gathered information about the streets, coming to Tommy and Tariq and telling them that Ghost is actually not dead and is running the whole organization in London. I know it sounds crazy, but we were never really sure Ghost was dead. And Omari Hardwick, the actor who plays Ghost, never liked the idea of Ghost being dead and wants to return to the series. And we know from 50 Cent saying that Power Origins was made because of fan demand and that fans influenced Power Universe. That's why the biggest surprise we could see in Power Legacy is learning that Ghost's death was completely a ruse and James St. Patrick has been running London without showing himself all these years, fully living up to his nickname. After hearing this news, I think Tommy and Tariq will be left absolutely shocked. I'm especially excited to see Tariq's reaction when he finds out that his father, whom he shot, isn't dead. Also, no matter what, I don't think Tariq will be on the same side as Ghost again, so the first big rivalry we will see in Power Legacy may be between Ghost and Tariq, starting from episode 1. Which side will Tommy be on in this battle? Will he be with Tariq, who saved him in Chicago, or with Ghost, his childhood friend whom he loves like a brother? Honestly, I think all the excitement in the show may come from Tommy going back and forth between the two, so we will probably see him change sides at times. So which side would you want Tommy to be on? Write it in the comments. Of course, in a show set in London, we can't just see old characters. So at the beginning of the series, important Irish mafia and dangerous English street gangs will also play a big role. Maybe later in the show, Ghost will even save Tommy and Tariq from the Irish mafia just so they don't die. And besides Two-Bit, someone else who knows the streets well and can guide Tommy and Tariq in London might join. As for the release information, apart from confirming Power Legacy, no official information has been shared about the show. But we know the studio has started production for another spin-off, Power Origins. So after Power Origins, the focus will completely shift to Power Legacy. Also, since the team joining the show currently has no scheduling conflicts, filming will be easier. The only challenge will be moving the entire crew from Chicago to London. Considering everything, a release date around Christmas 2027 will be perfect for Power Legacy to bring back that original Power vibe we've been missing. The trailer for the show, probably coming in fall 2027, will likely show Tommy and Tariq landing in London with their teams, trying to build their new lives while seeing the crimes committed by the Irish mafia and English street gangs who will be our villains. D-Mac and Brayden being caught during their street observations and realizing that Ghost is the one who captured them, finally reporting it to Tommy and Tariq with shock. Am I being delusional or no? Share your thoughts in the comments. Meanwhile, if you want to learn more about what will happen in episode 1 of Power Book 4 Force's third season, check out this video.